Well, hello. Thank you for tuning back in to my second video. We're rocking the Monza track today, race C. We've come into 4th position. I have zoomed in a touch, so that's why the borders are a little bit cut out, so you don't see the replay thing at the bottom. But here we are, kicking off 4th position. Before this race, I spent a fair bit of time getting used to the track and the car, because this was one of the first times I've started to use the C7. Absolutely fantastic car, see why everyone's using it. And yeah, here we go. As you can see, we're following COVID-19, so I'm not sure that that is a good sign of things to come. But regardless, COVID is in front of us. So we're going to be hard onto the brakes into turn 1 Monza. The guy's struggling, he's just squealing at the back in the Red Bull livery. And we're going to be pushing through here. And what I was trying to achieve here was to improve my SR and DR. Giving COVID the scare. Look at the Corona bottles. So we're going to take the inside line. Had a little bit of extra speed in there. Tried to give him the space. I don't think there was any contact. I think he was just he wanted that position back, so I think he stamped on that accelerator pedal. But yeah, we're pushing for a nice SR really in this race. So we're trying our best to not have any contact. I think we're going to have the run on COVID-19. See as we come up to this heavy braking section down into 3rd gear, sort of feathering the throttle as well through the S, and then trying to get on the power as early as possible for this straight up to the penultimate corner, which is a very strange corner, I must add. It's such a long corner that you want to maximize getting on the gas as quickly as possible, so the later you can brake, the quicker you can sort of turn in. I think later on in this race I did try that. I think it was Mr. Fam Svensson. I think later in the race we go side by side. You can see he's pushing for a position. I think there was contact there between Fam. Yeah, he's got a 2-second penalty. I think I've had a nudge as well, or was that me he touched? I don't know. So this is the part of the race where it was sort of, you know, nice and clean. There's 3 cars at the front, and then I rejoined with just look at them all. It was nice and calm up front. But as you can see, everyone's rocking penalties. I will absolutely be doing a penalty video, because he's gone to defend, so I've had to really hit the brakes hard, turn in as quick as I can. But yeah, a penalty system video is coming. I know that, you know, Gran Turismo are not necessarily going to listen to me, but I have got my own opinions. I think listening to people like Tidgney, Womble Leader, you know, we're playing this game to enjoy it, and I think the penalty system, although it should be there, it's just a little bit too invasive. And when I say too invasive, I mean, look at that. It's a non-contact sport, and I appreciate that Gran Turismo are trying the hardest for us to not do that, but you know, they're even giving you 2nd penalties for just the tiniest of taps, and it's just ridiculous. So we're pushing it in there, trying to not get a penalty, feathering the throttle to try and maximize the exit speed on the way out. And now we're rocking 6th, so we've gone down 2 positions, which isn't ideal, but regardless, we have into the penultimate corner yet again. I think this is a 10-lap race, keeping it pinned here. The Corvette does have very good straight line speed. Obviously you can see all the pro YouTubers and the leaderboards sort of speak for itself. So I have really been enjoying the Corvette. It's been a lot of fun. That guy has completely and utterly messed it up. So I think that gives me, yes. So not only have I sort of caught up a touch, he's got a penalty, so I don't want to push, and I know that I'm going to pass him. Obviously we're pushing for the SR here, so we're heavy on the brakes. It's such an uncomfortable feeling when you're catching that car up, and you've got your brake on full whack. But regardless, we're back, and they both get half-second penalties. Two of the Bumblebee Corvettes both getting extra half-a-second penalty. There's a couple of corners that I was learning how to not necessarily master, but I definitely increased my speed with regards to this track. I probably spent about an hour and a half through qualifying. I think I hit 148 from my first ever lap, and then we've got it down to the low 147s. I know I can get high 146s, and we can keep pushing, but you know, trying different cars and different tracks, it's all a constant learning curve. So we're back up into 5th. We've got a big gap. I'm always very conscious of the toe. I don't want to be giving anyone slipstream behind me, because I think it's quite strong in this game. But we have the slipstream of 4th position, which is where we started. I'm feeling confident that I can take 4th, especially with the penalty and catching up. So if we can look at a podium for this race, that would be fantastic. But again, we're not going to push. We're not going to do anything silly. We've got the inside line because we had the run with the slipstream. We're keeping it in, touching the sausage just a little bit, getting it into first gear and absolutely wringing its neck. The Corvette's first gear, I can't remember what it goes up to, but I'm pretty sure it was touching the high 60s miles an hour before you needed to change it to second. So as you come out of that corner, and obviously you line the car up, you can just pin the throttle, and you can pin it for a good sort of, I don't know, maybe 2 seconds as opposed to 1, which means you can really get the most out of an extra sort of 2,000-3,000 revs. It does this thing sort of where it revs, and it doesn't stop, but it sort of revs up, and it feels like it's sort of staying at 4,000 revs for maybe a few tenths to 2/10 of a second. But so what I'm saying is you could change gear then, but you don't change gear, you keep on the power, and then again you're running through them revs, and you can really just send it. It really is a great car. I've noticed that I've been racing with a lot of Aston Martins, the V12s. Wide on there, I kept it pinned. I knew that it wasn't going to be too dangerous, and I knew that I wouldn't get a penalty, so I thought I'd just keep it pinned, see what it goes. But obviously tyre wear's coming into effect now, and it is ×10 tyre wear, so you can sort of see it's just sort of wellowing just a little bit as we're coming into the corners. But now we're coming up behind the V12 Aston Martin, which is 3rd position. We're definitely in his toe, Mr. Fam Svensson. He's quite a good driver. I can't remember what happens later on, but we will find out. There we go, pinning the power, although we're in 2nd gear there. I recommend first. I mean, I say recommend, you do what the hell you like, but I just think you could probably, if you get it right, you can just sort of maximise power coming out of those corners. So again, we're hard on the brakes, not quite taking the lines that I want to. Again, sort of reiterating the fact of tyre wear. This is also a strange corner. You want to take that as late as possible. You don't really want to use the cones as markers. You want to be braking a little bit after them, because when you turn in, it's very, very easy to clip the barrier on that apex. You can turn in early, give it a little bit of gas, pushes you wide, come back off the gas to get back on again. But with that, you kangarooing the car, which doesn't equate to speed. A stable car is a faster car. So I don't know that we're in his slipstream here, but we're continuing the race. Hard on the brakes. We're going to chuck that in. Not too fast. also, having the CSL Elite, it has taught me so much with regards to the limits of where we can take it. We're coming into the pits. The Corvette boys are working hard. Boom, there it is. So we've stuck the hard tyres on. I believe there were 2 or 3 laps left. I think I was sort of struggling on that last lap with the lines and the grip that I wanted. No issue behind us. There's a nice big gap, so we'll take it nice and easy. Can we keep it alright on the first lap? Sort of. A little bit wide on the exit there. That guy just ghosts. That guy was going to follow him. Happens a lot in motorsport. One thing I've learned, you never race the other driver. If you're racing the other driver, you're guaranteed to fail and lose, because it's not about racing the other driver, it's about racing the track. You want to maximize your track time. If you're focusing on the other person, that's your target. Whereas the track's always going to exist, the track's never going to change, and you can always maximize your time with the track. So focus on your track points, don't focus on the car. Obviously, you need to be aware of the car. I'm not saying ignore the car and ram them. I'm just saying focus on the track, because it's caught me out, especially at the beginning of my career. Look at that gap, nice and comfortable. We're back into 4th position as well, but yeah, it caught me out at the beginning of my career a few times, so it's just not worth it. But we're on fresh hards. You can see there we've got a nice line, so going onto the hards was a good idea. We've got a fair bit more grip. Going to 5th gear. We're going to up into 6th, and it's definitely worthwhile short shifting this Corvette. It has a hunk of power, and the CSL Elite, it has a speedometer on the top of the steering wheel, as well as a yellow, red and blue indicator, although that only works in World Rally, I've noticed. It just goes blue when it tells you to change, it doesn't even flash. So here we are, look, Ram's gone into the pits, we're coming into the T1 Monza. He wants it, so I'm going to let him have it. I'm going to turn in, and there's a tiny bit of contact. I was really worried there, because I turned in, I kept it to the right as late as I could to then turn back in to hopefully get the cutback. I didn't get the cutback. We did get contact, but the game didn't register it as a crime against motorsport. So it's okay. We're firmly in Svensson's slipstream, which means we've got 2 very good opportunities to overtake. He didn't take a very good line there, had to come off the throttle, but we still do have the run. I'm going to push in. He's having it, so I have to come out. It was a good race, I did enjoy this. Keeping the pressure on. Do we get a good run out of here? It looks okay. We're going to tuck in behind his slipstream, and I think that's quite close, so I think we might be on for a run, but I believe I've got maybe another lap or 2. We've got COVID in 2nd place, so COVID has moved up a position, which isn't good news for the world. And he's made the position. He's gone through. He had the slipstream, he took the inside line, and it's stuck. And the V12 is now behind the Corvette. He wants that position back, so he's going to go for it. Nothing I can do. We're side by side. We're going to be heavy on the brakes here. I think this is where I brake really late. Turn in late, look. And you can see here we're side by side, and I'm maximising my exit speed. So now what we're going to see is a drag race between the Corvette and the Aston Martin. So I'm going to put this view on here for you guys. It looks like we're just pulling away. We are just slightly. So the Corvette, so that tactic worked. It was a very late braking. You know, you've got to be on it with regards to turning in, because if you turn too late while late braking, you will mess the corner up and the position will be given back. He obviously was pushing for that position. You saw him do a little bit of a spin there. That's going to push the gap between us, and I'm trying my hardest here to gain that 3/4 of a second gap to get out of this man's slipstream. Stop pulling him back into me. But we've moved up a position after that spin, so I'm very, very, very happy with the way things are going. Can we hang on to it? Can we hang on to it? So many times before has it all gone wrong. I think on one of my other races I binned it on lap 10 and I was 1st position. It was the only time that happened, but anyway, 448. It looks like it might be on the outer reaches of slipstream. I'm not sure. I don't think there's enough time for him to really catch up. So we're going to take this smooth rather than fast, and try and just get a good exit. Pull away from him. Yeah, see, running a little bit wide there because I just thought I'm keeping it pinned because I want to get away from him. I don't want to give him any slipstream and give him the opportunity to pull up on the inside for drag race number 2. And here we are, hard on the brakes yet again. A smoother racing line rather than late. Around the penultimate corner. And I believe he's done it. And there we go. Or is there one more lap? No, there is one more lap. I do apologise, I can't see the lap counter. This has to be the final lap then. So, he's still behind me, he's caught up a little bit. I mean, that Svensson, I'd say, is a very good driver. We're also about to lap P16. I'm very glad that Gran Turismo have decided to ghost these cars, because if he wasn't ghosted, that would have definitely created more problems for all of us, really. But here we are, he loses control and my eyes kind of glitch out a bit because I'm like, oh no, he's lost control, am I going to crash even though he's ghosted? You know, less than a tenth of a second, it completely ruins your, you know, you're driving, so you've really got to be on it all the time. He's picked up a penalty on the, I'd say it's his final lap, he's probably got 2 laps to go, bless him. But here we are, everything's going as smoothly as possible. TMK coming up to the last sort of challenging S-bends. We're going to be on the brakes, down into 3rd gear, chuck it in, feather the throttle, and then we're up into 4th, keep the throttle pinned. Do we go wide this time? No, we get a perfect exit, so I probably feathered the throttle for a little bit longer in 3rd gear, which enabled me to hit that apex perfectly on the way out. And here we are, penultimate corner, the end. Right on the edge of the grip, hoping I'm not going to lose traction and it's going to kick me out, but it's not raining, so there's no real danger of that. And I believe no, there is another lap. Okay, well, in that case then, I think this will just be a case of smooth sailing to the end. But I did enjoy this race. I enjoyed the car. I enjoyed the qualifying session, the hour-and-a-half qualifying session. It's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to next week's daily races, A, B and C. See what they've got to offer. Yeah, especially with the CSL Elite as well, it has completely and utterly improved my driving. You see these videos, does it make you faster, blah 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 blah, and I think ultimately you can't. It might not, but I'm pretty sure it will, and if it doesn't make you faster, it makes you a hell of a lot more confident, so you know exactly what's going on with the car, which at least will save you in many situations. Looks like right out of slipstream as well from Mr. Fan. So it looks like we're just going to bring this one home for 3rd position unless we do anything absolutely drastic. A little bit wide there, but we don't want to give him the run. And it looks like we're going to bring that home. But yeah, the CSL Elite is fantastic. It's just helped me so much with the pedals, and especially turning. I've noticed that with the CSL Elite as opposed to the G29, you're turning into maybe 40-50%, but depending on your speed of the car, you can overload the tyres and then you lose grip. And it's an awesome feature. It gives you everything that you need. I'm pretty sure we should hopefully now see the checkered flags. There we go. The hazards are on. That's what I was looking for. And we've come in 3rd position. So I'm happy with that race. It's a good race. It's gone well. It's gone how I would have liked it to, I suppose. We've had an incident, it put us to 6th, 7th, it put us in with the rest. We've had some side-by-side action. COVID has took second place, and there he is. It was a good race, clean race. I appreciate everything that's going on. When you get into the higher lobbers as well, you do start to appreciate the level of driving ability and sportsmanship that you receive. It makes it better. So thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Peace.